Hey, mamas, you are listening to the Motherhood is Ghetto podcast. We all know motherhood can be a beautiful thing, but girl, it can also be ghetto. Join me as we discuss some of the best and worst parts of being a mom raising kids, all while trying to figure out this thing called life. This ghetto is a safe space, mamas. So, welcome to the hood. Hey, mamas, welcome back to another episode of Motherhood is Ghetto. My name is Joy, and it is Friday today. And listen, watch, be quiet, listen. Do you hear that? That's right, I changed my smoke detector batteries. Like, I don't know what it is now. Like, when I do little things like that, I be feeling hella proud of myself. Like, like I've just be feeling like just Wonder Woman when I do some of the littlest things around the house that I hadn't done before. I just be feeling like a champion. So, yes, finally replaced the batteries in my smoke detectors. So no more chirp chirp. But actually, today is Friday, and also too, if you listen closely, you don't hear my kids in the background. That's because they're still at school. They'll be getting out of school here shortly. But yeah, they haven't made it home yet. So I decided to take this time to record and yeah, and get our part 2 of our what things I stopped doing to gain peace in my life. I'm all over the place today, but I'm gonna try to get it together for you. I'm trying to get it together. But this week, first off, I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Hope you have some fun, cool plans for the weekend. But if you don't, if you're just chilling this weekend, that's good too, because that's what I plan to do this weekend. I just plan to chill. It seems like every weekend, like it's been go, go, go here for me and my kids. And it's kind of nice to just relax some weekends. Um, I know for me this weekend, or excuse me, this week was really productive. I got a lot of shit done. I like I did a lot. Like I did a whole bunch of banking stuff. I did car shit. Um I did my taxes, Lord. Amen, amen. I did my taxes and thank God like I'm still in the realm of being able to get a return back, like get a refund back. I guess I don't make that much money yet. But like it's like I'm at that tipping point where like I get a little something back, but it's well for me, I'm grateful for anything I get back. As long as I don't owe them IRS boys, like I'm good. But I did my taxes this week. Registered my daughter for soccer. What? She had been telling me she wanted to play a sport. First, it was basketball. Then she changed her mind and said she wanted to play volleyball. And then she changed her mind again and was like, I want to play soccer. So I was like, all right, that's it. Don't change your mind no more. I'm registering you now. And I had been putting it off for whatever reason, and then when I started doing the registration, I found out why I was putting it off. Like, because they want you to give every single detail about your life. Like, it's crazy. Like, they want, not only do they want like your proof of address, which I don't know why, because my daughter's going to that school. Like, everything is on file at the school, but like they want two forms of proof of address. And for me, like I have been kind of lazy with changing some of the utilities that we have out of my husband's name into my name. So right now, I got one utility in my name and one working on it on the way. Like it's just I already changed it, but I haven't gotten a bill yet in my name with that utility. And then the other utility, I'm just like I can get into the online account and pay it. Like that's really all I need to do. Um, And if I wanted to call up there, like, my husband has like kind of like a unisex name. So if I wanted to call up there and say I was him, like I could, but there's no need for me to call them because I pay online. My bill is a fixed amount. Like it doesn't go up or down. It's one amount every month. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But I needed two proofs of address. So the only other thing I could think of was my lease. And but I couldn't find the original lease, so I had to hit up, the leasing company and be like, hey, like I need a copy of my original lease. Like so I finally got that. So I was able to get the two proofs of address that I needed for her and got her registered. So hopefully she makes it through tryouts, makes it on the team, praying for her, and I'm rooting for her. I know she could do it though. But yeah, I'm so glad it's the weekend. I'm so happy to have finally made it to the weekend, get some time with my babies, just chill. And yeah, so I hope your week and your weekend is good and will be good. So for today's episode, we are going to jump into part two of things I stopped doing to gain peace in my life. So, on the last episode, we left off. Let's see. And if you haven't listened to the last episode, go ahead, stop this one, go to the part one of things I stopped doing to gain peace in my life, so that way you can catch up. So that way, when you come to this one and we keep going with the list, then you won't be lost. So, we stopped at pretending to be happy when I was hurting. So the next one, and sorry y'all, there's a plane finna fly over. I can hear it coming from a distance, and the microphone is definitely gonna pick it up. So just FYI, if you're wondering what that noise is. So the next one on the list is silencing my voice and not naming my needs. Silencing my voice and not naming my needs. Um, I can relate to this too, especially not so much with friendships because, like, honestly, I haven't had a lot of friends throughout my whole life. Like, so for me, it was more so in my marriage. Um, I know that in the earlier years, in the earlier years of us being married and newlyweds, I would do that a lot. Like, I would just kind of go along to get along and say like, oh babe, like if it's okay with you, like it's okay with me. But some things weren't okay with me. But like I had this notion like I'm a new wife, and then for him, I was his second wife, so I didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to do anything like to like I just didn't want to do anything to ruin this first time experience for myself. So I was like, okay, well, a wife lets her husband lead, and he, makes the decisions and stuff like that, and I, go along with it, and that's was my idea of what being married was about. And I was so young back then. um yeah, I didn't get married like, fresh 18. I was uh 23 when I got married, but still young in the mind. Like, I that was my first marriage. I never been married to anybody before. Didn't know how it worked, and I just thought that, you know, what my husband says, that's what it is, and you know, um we just go with that. It doesn't matter how I feel. But over the years and over the course of our relationship, of course, that changed. Um, but and then when it did change and we were both more open with each other about what we actually wanted and what we needed from each other, then everything like changed. Like it did like a 180. So, and it definitely helped our relationship and helped it to get stronger. So, I can definitely relate to this too. And even now, like, shoot, not even relationships, like with your job, there can be instances where, you're silencing your voice and not speaking up with what naming and speaking up with what your needs are. I know I recently like told my manager, I was like, look, like what you guys are putting on me right now is a little too much. I'm starting to get overwhelmed. And it's not something that I've ever said the whole time I've been working for this company. But like for me it's like this is enough. Like I've reached a limit now. And I'm asking for a little bit of help. Like, can y'all work with me? Like, can we try to, maneuver some things so that way it makes it a little bit easier for me because I got a lot of stuff on my plate just at work. Like, I'm not even talking about like at home because right now home is home. Like, it's good. Like, we on a pretty good routine. Like, everything is on the up and up. So we good in the home front, but it's just work. I just was feeling really overwhelmed, starting to feel that stress, and just I was like, yo, like I need y'all to work with me here and meet me halfway with some of these things. So, yeah, if you're struggling and one of the issues may be that you're not being vocal about what you truly need, either from a relationship or from your job, career, whatever, um, yeah, just don't be afraid to speak up because it's you at the end of the day. It's your life. So you have to care about it before anybody else. So the next one is overthinking about my past and things I cannot change. Oh my God. Like, who out there is not doing this? I still do this to this day. I'm really one of those people. I'm a worrier. I overthink about everything, and it's taken me a lot of prayer, and a lot of talking with God to be like just like this part of me that wants to worry all the time and ask like the what if all the time. I be asking God, like, please just remove that from my mind. Like, remove all these limiting beliefs and this worry and this fear, and just remove it because that could like it can lead to stress, and especially if you're overthinking about things you can't change. Like, you can't change it, mama. Like, it's gonna be what it is for the rest of your life. So, like, wasting energy on it and trying to change it, like, it's no good. So yeah, if you can eliminate that, and like I said, I work on it every day. And I feel like I've gotten better at it. And some things I don't let it sweat me. I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is. I cannot change this. Like, I ask myself questions like, is this something within my control? Yes. Okay. How can what can I do to be able to garner this outcome? And if I ask myself, is it in my control? Can I change it? No. Okay. Well, then leave it alone. Just let it be what it is. And I know it's hard for some of us too, especially as parents, as mothers. Like, we have the need like to be in control, to know what's gonna go on, know what's gonna happen, so that way you can be one step ahead of anything that may occur. But sometimes it's just not possible, and things just happen, and like things and situations come up and you have no control. So I definitely can feel this. The next one is holding on to people I've outgrown because of the time invested. Don't be holding on to people that you know that you've outgrown just because of the time you invested. Don't do that because everything everything that we go through in this life is meant for you to go through it. Like, the experiences, the people, the relationships, all of it was meant for you to experience. The reason you were experiencing it or experienced it is that's something that only you will know. And when you go on to the other side or the afterlife or whatever, however or whatever you want to call it, you'll know exactly why you went through those experiences and what you were meant to learn. And if you didn't learn the lesson, then, you know, either your soul will make a choice to repeat it, or move on. So, but that's just what I believe. So, uh, but yeah, just life is just way too short not to be surrounded by people, who can grow with you and, be a part of your world, and as well as you be a part of theirs, without feeling like, you've outgrown a person or a relationship. So it's 2023, mamas. Let's not do that. The next one is going along to get along. I did not just say that. I just said, like, early in my marriage, I was just going along to get along. Yeah, don't do that either. That could be very detrimental to any relationship, because it both ways. If you're the one that's calling all the shots and your partner or your friend is just going along to get along, it can be detrimental to them and to the overall relationship. So it's best to just keep those lines of communication open, and keep, asking those questions like, hey, like, is there anything you need? Like, what can I do? What can we do, to fix this? And make it an open dialogue, so each of you can share opinions and share viewpoints, because that's really important. And the same thing with children. Like, don't just go along to get along for your children or with your children. Sometimes you got to have tough conversations and uncomfortable conversations, and you can't rely on, oh, well, like, you can't rely on what you think, the other person is thinking, or you can't rely on what you think the other person is feeling. Like, you got to speak up and ask. And then on the flip side, if you feel like someone's just not understanding you or they're not listening, like, make them stop and say, hey, like, this is what I need. This is what I want. Like, let's try to, meet somewhere in the middle or compromise. Um, yeah, a lot of these just boil down to having better communication with one another. The next one is overlooking my blessings and comparing my life to someone else's. Man, I can tell you from experience, like, this is that is toxic in itself. And I know I do not do that anymore. I used to, but I don't do that anymore. And I feel so good, y'all. Like, I feel so good for the fact that I'm enjoying and being grateful and standing in my own blessings and looking at my life like it's the best life ever. Like, it's the best life God could have given me. It does so much for my confidence, for just even like an example, like for this podcast. Like, I listen to other mom podcasts and stuff like that, and I listen to their intros, and everyone has like a guest speaker on their podcast, and the artwork and the pictures and the graphics and the videos like are really pretty, and I'm like, and it almost takes me to a place where I'm like, dang, like, I can't wait until I get up to that point. But honestly, I'm enjoying the space that I'm in with my podcast right now. I'm still making connections just like everyone else is on their podcast. My podcast is getting around to new listeners every day, and without all the extra stuff. So, um, yeah, and I feel like this podcast in itself, like, is a blessing. It's a blessing to people. It's a blessing to me. It's a blessing to my kids. And I would be a fool to overlook that and think less of it just because someone else has something different going on. Like everybody has their own sandbox to play in. So just play in yours. like, and we teach our kids that at an early age. Like, don't worry about what they got going on. Worry about yourself. If a kid, is trying to take up all the toys, you tell your kid, like, just play with your toys. Like, don't worry about what they got going on. Just play with your toys. And we need to give ourselves that same advice. Like, and I love, if, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast, but I am a huge J. Cole fan. Like, J. Cole, like, that's my guy. Like, I love me some J. Cole. And one of my favorite songs of his is Love Yours. And he says, there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. Like, there's no such thing. And it's true. Like, and then if you are unhappy with your life, like, you have the power to change it. You have the power to live the life that you want to live. And even though I know that there's lots of things and I want to still accomplish and lots of goals that I want to achieve and things that I want to do, places I want to go, things I want to buy, like all that stuff. I'm still grateful for the blessings that I do have right now. Like, and I will never take it for granted, like ever. So, comparing my life to anyone else's would just be foolery because I love my life. Like, I love my kids. Like, I love the life that I created with my husband. Like, I love me. I love the person I'm becoming, the growth, like, just everything. And I'm falling more and more in love with it every day. So, yeah, don't be comparing your life or what you got going on to anyone else's because this is your journey. Like, this is your life. It's not anyone else's. Um, let's see. So the next one is abandoning myself, my truth, and my integrity to fit in. Yeah, no, we're not doing that in 2023. We're not doing that at all. I, w- mm-mm, no way. Yeah, don't do that, mamas. Don't stop doing that and gain peace in your life today if you're doing that. Let's see. We got two more. So waiting for external validation to boost my confidence. Yeah, and especially in the age of social media, like, we post something, we look for those likes, we look for those views. You know what? Funny story. Funny story and a true story. So, on Facebook, I never watch people's stories. If by some chance I do watch someone's stories, it's on an accident. Like, I accidentally clicked on it, and then, like, as soon as you click on it, like, that's a view. Like, they're gonna see it on their end as you viewed it. So I'm like, oh shit. But there's a reason why I don't do that. So the reason why I don't watch people's stories is because when my husband was alive and he would post a story on his Facebook, he would go back and see who all viewed it. And then he would look to see of the people who viewed it if they hit the heart or like put a like or whatever. And he used to do that all day, constantly. I'm like, why do you keep watching your stories over and over again? He's like, I'm looking to see who viewed it, who liked it. Or he would always say, I'm looking to see who just looky loo and who like actually liked it. And I'm like, but why? Like, why do you do that? And he's like, I just want to see. Like, I just want to see. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So it's gotten me paranoid because I think that other people are doing the same thing he would do and like looked at their stories to see who viewed it. And then if that person viewed it, they liked it or not. Because my husband used to talk shit about people who viewed his stories but didn't like it. He'd be like, fuck them. And I don't know why, like, he would always do that. So now it's got me paranoid about watching people's stories on Facebook. So I never do it. Like, if I do watch someone's stories or someone sees a view from me, it was an accident. And then if I accidentally click on a story, I like it. I give it a heart because I don't want them to be like, oh, well, Joy viewed it, but she didn't like it. Because I'm just scared, y'all. Um, but I'm not saying that my husband needed that validation, like for his confidence, because his confidence was on 10,000. Like, so, but it's just some people do need that. Like, they look for validation in their content, in their creativity, like through the likes and the clicks and the views and stuff like that. And honestly, I feel like, our society wasn't like that until social media came about. MySpace. If anyone is old enough like me to remember MySpace, like how many people were on your MySpace thing. I never had a MySpace. Like most of my friends did, but I didn't have one. I cause mainly because I didn't know how to make one. And like no one showed me how to make one. So I didn't have one. But even with that, it's like, okay, how many friends you got, like all that stuff. So yeah, you don't need any external validation. Like, know who you are and be true to who you are. Like, that's it. That's all. And we should be teaching that, especially for our kids now, because that's all it's about now is, oh, like what kind of clothes you wearing, like if you wearing Jordans or whatever type of shoes. Like, it's, we should be teaching our children that too, that the external validation is not what matters, and it won't bring them confidence, like none of that stuff. It all comes from within. So the last thing I stopped doing to gain peace in my life, trying to change people who were committed to staying the same. We all know this. This is the age old story. Amen, amen. Um, yeah, I'm not changing nobody. And of course, yeah, I was guilty of that a time or two, trying to mold somebody into what I thought like was a perfect person for me, and not looking at the good things and the beautiful things that that person already possessed that can add to what I brought, and the person I was. So, yeah, it's just extra energy that you don't need to waste. If they're not for you, then they're just not for you. There's no need to try to change them, especially if they're set and they're committed to staying the same. Like, if it's not healthy for you or if it doesn't suit your needs, it's a free country and we all have free will. We were all born with free will. So just go find someone who is. And, also to set those standards for your children. Let them know, like, hey, like, it's not your job to change anybody and change how they feel and how they look at you, all that stuff. Like, it's up to them. And if they can't, or if they don't fit, the person or the relationship that you're looking for, then you can move on. Like, there's 8 billion people in this world. And I think we just focus too much on trying to, like, create our perfect person when, everyone is individuals. We all have our own minds and our own individuality. So, um, yeah. So that's out. We're not doing that in 2023 either. But that is it. Things I stopped doing to gain peace in my life. All of these things, all these points that we went over between part one and part two are gems. So I encourage you all, like, if you're struggling with finding peace, gaining peace in your life, try eliminating some of these things on the list. Try stopping some of these things uh do if you do these things. um just and if even if you are only able to eliminate one thing, like, that's okay. Like, at least you're trying and you're putting in that work, like, because nobody's perfect, and you're not going to gain a peaceful life overnight, but at least you're trying and you're working towards it, and that's what's important. So I'm going to go ahead and land the plane here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to share it with anyone who you may think would find it helpful. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at motherhood_is_ghetto so we can keep the conversation going. And until next time, mamas. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Don't forget to follow the podcast and share with anyone who you think may enjoy it. And follow me on Instagram at motherhood_is_ghetto. Also, feel free to DM me if you have any experiences, opinions, or views on motherhood you'd like me to share on the podcast. Until next time, mamas.